people reach inside themselves. Fethullah Gulen has shown that when one person deals in it with a warmth and caring towards another for their best interest, that makes that person also want to participate. And so the numbers of people that are joining this movement, I would imagine, could only keep increasing, because we all feel the need to be cared about. We all want to grow, and his words are inspiring people to be their best. And we saw people, making major sacrifices for a greater good way on down the road sometimes.
So that's why it's important for people like Fethullah Gulen, for example, to come out in the forefront and speak on behalf of Islam and Muslims and show the positive, the beauty, and the spirituality of Islam, so that the negative images that people see on TV can be offset by the wonderful work that people are doing throughout the world, Muslims are doing, including such as Fethullah Gulen.
I know everything there is to know about the expression of Islam that we experienced from our gracious hosts in Turkey. It's my hope and prayer that this is just a beginning. That it's just the beginning of an ongoing deepening of understanding and relationship and commitment.
What they experienced, witnessed, and felt took them to a certain address. They asked questions about him and wanted to learn more about him during and after the trip. They might not have been given much information, but these people, who each of whom had a background of rich experiences, were aware that they had found a new source that shed light upon the era.
Why were they different, and what was compelling them to be the way that they were? And I realized that probably it was their leader, Fethullah Gulen. Here is a man whose name you don't see anywhere, not in public so often. You don't see his pictures.
And I couldn't get many people to tell me much about it until we got home, and I went on the web and I bought books and I started looking, and then realized this man is amazing, and he has done something with his life that is very powerful. And I frankly have come to believe that this man has the capacity to change the world, much in the way Gandhi did. He has that kind of value system, he has that kind of presence, and I really believe that his movement, I really believe this, that his movement can change us and change the world.
Good fruit comes from a good tree. And in this case, the good tree has had its roots in the philosophy and the reflection of Fethullah Gulen.
I've read a number of Fethullah Gulen's works, and I'm always impressed with the wealth of his Islamic knowledge, his Islamic education. I think that he translates in a way the very best of Hadith and the Quran and, for example, Rumi's teachings. He has a way of formulating all of that, synthesizing all of those elements in a way that that anyone can read easily and can benefit from. I think that in doing so, he does do a great service to humanity, in that he provides us with examples, easy to understand examples of how we should treat fellow human beings.
I have read several books by Gulen since becoming acquainted with the Turkish community. Sometimes have been absolutely transported by the language that I'm reading in English, so it's translations of his works, but transported by the ideas, because they are the ideas that I value, the sense of the relatedness of humanity, that we are all the same people. We are all, and if we are not helping each other, then what are we doing? Why are we here? If we are intolerant of the things that are in each of our heads, if I'm intolerant of what someone else has in his head, or he's intolerant of what I have in my head, then what is the point? So those ideas I have wrestled with my whole life, and to see what can come out of one person writing and thinking about these ideas, and starting schools, it does give hope. It gives me hope. It is the hope of the world. That I don't think the hope of the world comes from the governments of the world.
It's a path that's non-sectarian. It's not political. It's an altruistic path, devoid of any connection to politics or to asking anything in return. It's positive action that is action directed towards others, but not expecting any kind of reward, simply for the good of doing it, for the good of the community, for the connection between each other, brothers and sisters. It works at building bridges rather than separating and arguing.
Gulen's movement is perfect to help explain to Americans generally, and students specifically, that Islam is not a terrorist religion and that Muslims are not terrorists. People fear what they do not understand. People fear what they do not know. Americans have tremendous ignorance of Islam and of Muslims.
I think in reading about Fethullah Gulen and reading his works, the things that came out toward me from those was his compassion, was his way of caring, the individual taking action, was that the individual has to take responsibility for his own person, spirituality, lifestyle, blessings given, and that universally, if each one of us does that, how much we can affect the people around us, the society around us, and the world around us. Fethullah Gulen, I think, offers us so much more than we are getting right now.
Gulen has been able to help people understand that their lives are not about them, that their lives are not about self-serving, but that we are here as human beings to glorify God and to serve God, and to have a way to work together, everyone to work together that our lives have a purpose greater than just us.
Allah's love for us is so immense and so embracing. When we focus and recognize on God's power and that He's created an environment for us that's comfortable and attractive and beautiful, this is an inspiration for us. That Fethullah Gulen recognizes this and focuses on this is an inspiration for me.
And I didn't really know his name until about 4 years ago. And he has become very important in my life. And of course this is Fethullah Gulen. And this man has so many young people, young men, young women, older men, older women, who love him to the extent that they want to emulate him in every way they possibly can. And many of them have had the honor and privilege of meeting with him. And this gentleman, who is not in good health, but very strong in heart and living his life only for one God, he's influencing all of us.